Hey guys, welcome back to another live Smite gameplay commentary. Today I'm going to be doing a first look video on the new god that just came out, Khepri. He is technically a guardian, and he's got there's a lot of stuff that he does. It's pretty strong. I apologize for not really being around recently, but I have had issues with my computer and my internet connection for the past couple of months. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is his passive. His passive, as you can see down here right above his portrait, there's a little bar that fills up every 5 seconds. It pulses like that, and it grants a shield to Khepri and all allies around him. It is a stacking shield, does 3% of the target's maximum health, and it maxes out at 15%, so it'll tick 5 times, and that's as much as it'll do. So far in gameplay, it seems really strong. As you can see, I have the shield right down here, and it slows the time that it takes to fill up. It slows a little bit later on, but it's really strong for clearing wave early, because you can take a little more creep harass. Which means you can deal a little more harass as well. But it slows from every 5 seconds to every 10 seconds while you are in combat. The stack up right there. So it's pretty strong, but it's not something you can really rely on for fights. The next ability we're going to do is his 1. I picked up his 2 first just for the wave clear. But his 1 is a short range dash, as you can see right there. And he'll dash forward, grab onto somebody, and slowly pull them backwards like that. It's very, very strong. It's very disruptive, and it can really turn team fights. Something to note is that Khepri is not your standard type of support. His ultimate is not a huge CC like Geb's stun or Sylvanas' AoE knockup. So that's something that you want to kind of be keeping in mind. So his 2, I keep using it to wave clear. He shoots a sun forward. I'll do it again right there. Every ally that it passes through, it gives them a short protections buff. Stacks up to 25%, starts at 5 at rank 1, and gives them a damage reduction of 30%, which is really, really strong. 30% disruption. I see this getting nerfed at some point in time soon. So I wouldn't really count on that being your common, or your, I wouldn't really rely on that being standard. I'm just going to go ahead and try and clear out these creeps. So they'll probably be nerfing that, I would think, probably in a patch or 2. Just going to kill that guy so I can back. Just because for me right now it just seems really, really strong. So that's about all I can say on that. If it hits enemies, it'll do ticking damage at rank 1, 12 damage, plus a percentage of your magical power. If you are laning with him ever, this is going to be your main wave clear. It does damage to creeps, so that's pretty cool. And it's actually really good. It's strong for harass. You wouldn't think that it is, because you're like, oh, 12 damage, but you have to understand that it's 12 damage ticking for 3 seconds every 0.3 seconds. So that's quite a bit of damage that it's doing. Next ability we're going to talk about is his 3. It's very straightforward. It's a root, so you cast it, and then after a short cast time, it calls down the sun and it roots. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that out a little bit. I probably shouldn't have picked Raw to go against for this, but that's okay. Didn't quite grab him. So that's pretty good. You can set up a lot of combos. I'll try and do one here in a minute. Okay. But yeah, you can stun, pull him back like that, and then shoot your 2 at him, and that is a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Because the dash deals damage as well. when you collide with them. So his last ability is his ultimate. It's basically a revive. I'll do it here in a minute once I have enough mana. But basically you cast it on a target player to light up just like this, and then if they die, they are brought back to life. So here, I'm going to go into tower range, take some damage, and see if I can show you a little bit of how this works. So you put it on someone like this, and then they respawn. So it's really, really good. I've seen people do wonders with it. It's not really an initiation tool if you think of it that way, but it is really good. Say if you have a jungler, an assassin that's jumping in, you know, you want to be able to keep them alive. So casting that ultimate on them will keep them alive. So that's pretty fun. I'm actually just going to keep building him damage. I've been testing him out, playing against like bots and stuff on the PTS, and from what I can see, he has really fairly good wave clear if you build him damage with his 2. So that's pretty good, but besides that, there's not a whole lot to it. You kind of are relying on creeps to do everything for you, damage-wise, at that point. So I wouldn't recommend him for mid lane, but if you're feeling, I don't know, adventurous, then I would go mid lane. The stacking shield helps him. It gives him a lot of survivability that you wouldn't really expect. But I think he was most definitely designed for that shield to help allies around him. Obviously, it's a pulse, AoE pulse. Let's see. So the next biggest damage is going to be his 1. So I'm kind of building him as if I were playing him mid lane or something. But yeah, so far, really, really fun. Like, really fun to play. Something I didn't mention about his 4 that I probably should have mentioned, his ultimate. If you cast it on someone besides yourself, when they die, they are revived at your location. So that's kind of really important to note, that they're going to be brought back at your location. So you want to make sure that if you are reviving them, they're not in a dangerous spot when they come back to life, because they don't get all of their health back. They get, I believe, 80% of it back. Okay, it changes. I think when I was first reading through the patch notes, I think it was a flat like 50 or 60%. I thought it was 80% for some reason, but apparently they changed it, so now it scales with your ultimate level. So his 2 is like has a ridiculously long range. So use that to your advantage, you know. And now I'm just going to kind of kill him. But I'm just showing you kind of like what he does. He's very large. Like his model is humongous. And his dash also deals damage if you dash through creeps. I just did that. So we'll see. I got Ra following me here. So yeah, I mean, I kind of do these videos just to show you a little bit about the gods and stuff. I really do apologize for not being around. Dude, come on. Like I said, I've been having some severe internet issues and some issues with my computer and my game. So I have finally got it worked out. I am on the PTS right now, so we're going to do that. If you are playing him mid, this guy needs to stop. If you are going to play him mid, leveling up his 2 and then his 1 is probably the direction that you want to go. And then from there, I would go into... I'm not entirely sure that Choose the Focus would be what you wanted to build on him if you played him mid, but that's what we're doing right now. Probably Corona's Pendant, which means that he Choosing the Magi is probably where you want to go. So yeah, be looking for opportunities to like save your friends if they're in a fight, stuff like that. You know, just always be thinking that you have that ult that you have access to if you ever need it. There's a combo right there. It's really strong. Excuse me. So, I'm going to go ahead and just finish up this, and then we will go from there, man. Yeah, I'm going for it. No! Yeah, so you can do cool little tricks like that. I kind of think of his 4 as, if you use it on yourself, obviously, it's kind of like Kali's ultimate. Gives you a ton of immunity and to damage, and you can just sort of do that. I forgot to mention that it also gives you movement speed when it's cast on you, and it grants you attack power. Well, just damage. It grants you damage power. So casting it actually on people who are going to be your top damage dealers, which is like your assassins and your AD carries and stuff like that, your mages, people who are likely to get focused. It's really good. It gives them like a huge chunk of power, and then on top of that, it gives them movement speed so they can run around, and it makes it so they can't die. So there's 0 negatives to that. Oh yeah, and that's huge. That ball there, it's like really big. So you don't really even need to aim it. It's like the easiest skill shot in the world to aim. So, but I'm going to show you this movement speed. So when you apply it, you run faster, and then it also gives you a damage buff. So that's pretty cool. And keep in mind that you can cast it on your minions to help keep them alive. I don't think that your shield stacks on them. Yeah, it doesn't look like it does. So you can't really use it for that, but it's still really good. Yeah, and then that combo is just gonna like be really strong always. So you can get a lot of lane harass off if you're doing your 3-1-2 combo, like a lot of harass off, because your 1 does a lot more damage than you would anticipate. So yeah, so he has a lot of mobility too, so that's always a positive thing. If you can shoot it through your creeps like that, it's really helpful. It'll help keep them alive a little bit longer. I anticipate what's it called? Isolation. Gem of Isolation would be really good on him because of the taking damage from your 1. Also just providing that extra slow, keeping them locked down. That's sort of your job with this guy, is keeping them locked down because you don't have that huge disrupt. I mean, you have a root. I did forget to mention that his 1 is also a cripple, so for example, if you use it on Neith or something, she can't backflip away. So that's actually a lot stronger than you would think. Let's see if this works on the Titan. It doesn't look like that worked on the Titan, so that's too bad. He doesn't have a lot of damage potential, but he just like he could just sustain, or he could just not sustain, but he can just sustain actually, because he has that shield, so he is constantly getting health back, if you want to think of it that way. So there's that. I'm hoping to put out more videos. I think I managed to record a couple the other day, so I'm hoping to put them out, but I'm really sorry that I haven't been around, and hopefully we can get some good stuff going for you guys to check out here shortly. There's also a ton of new skins coming out with this patch, so that's pretty cool. This dance is from Adventure Time. I don't know if you guys know that, but anyway. A couple of the new skins. You got your gold, legendary, and diamond Medusa skins, which all look pretty snazzy. I like the diamond one a lot. That one's alright. You got your Renegade Awilix skin, which is pretty cool, based on Knight Rider. Let's see if she calls her kitty over. But it's very, very cool. A lot of neat stuff happening with that. There's an Anubis Tier 2 skin, which is kind of interesting. But, I mean, it's a Tier 2 skin, so it's not super duper interesting. It's just a little more extra things on the base model. And then there's a Hulk skin for Khepri, which is really pretty neat. It's got the cars and stuff, so I really like that one. His face looks a little derpy, but whatever. And then my favorite skin is going to be this one. I'm going to try and get it, because Frey is my favorite god, so it's very cool. Her voice back for it's pretty neat.
On my way.
It's all Frenchish. On my way was the same for this. Alright, whatever. So there's kind of an overview of like how things are looking, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Bye.